So it's Sunday morning and summertime. You wake up and think, well, there's this woman talking online all the time about reincarnation, that we come back many, many times to earth, that every time that we come back here is like going to school, that you have to learn something, and after we die, we go back to the spiritual realm, wait, plan, and then come back again to earth, receive a new body, and everything begins again, like when you start your video game again and get another avatar. But the million-dollar question is, if we come back many, many times, why can't I remember my past lives? And this video is exactly about that. So grab a cup of tea or a glass of water, sit and pay attention, because I'm gonna tell you why can't we remember our past lives. Hi there, gorgeous soul, and welcome back to my channel. I am Babs Paz, a spiritual coach and a transformational coach, and my mission is to make the awakening of consciousness go viral. So was I a great queen? Was I a slave? Was I somebody very famous? Actually, that's a tough answer, because many people that go through past life regression are just ordinary people like me and you. And I don't see that much people that say, I was a great queen. So to talk about forgetting the past, we must understand what past are we talking about. Spiritism has one of its beliefs that the survival of the soul and its passage through the physical realm and then to the astral realm back. Reincarnation and spiritual life alone constitute an entire something for the video. So I'm supposing that you are accepting those concepts as true. Otherwise, you can watch my videos here in the description below. So then, each of us has been here in this same world, incarnated many, many times, only in different physical bodies, with different parents most of the time, in a different place. We had the same material needs, but different desires, according to our understanding back then. We have lived with many people, made many decisions, made mistakes, and got right sometimes. And all of this that happened over and over again, and added some experience to us, added lessons that are incorporated, and they are never lost. So the natural question that arises is, if we've been through all that, why can't we remember? So God, in her immense wisdom, knows very well what's best for us. As spiritual children, we are all kids of this wonderful, beautiful, magnificent God that you can call he, she, or it, or the source, or nature, or whatever you want to call. But she knows everything better than us. Like when a kid is crying because they had taken the vaccine, we know it's good for them to have the vaccine, so we take them to do that, and we do that for us also. So they cry a little bit, and we know that's not a big deal, because they are going to get better. They are going to get in their lives' health improved after that. They are going to be protected against a disease. We are all children of God with the divine DNA, and we have specific needs, many of which we don't even know or like. So every parent knows what's better to impose to their children at times. That's why God decided that we would forget everything. We would take away all the things that could hurt us, and God knows what works for us. She knows that many things are necessary for us, so it's imposed to us. Excess knowledge can sometimes overshadow people. As a child, there is no talk about death, illness, without the due care or the right measure. Knowing the things about our past can be very painful for us, or no benefit at all to our evolution. Imagine that there is John and Paul. Let's get Beatles names. And Joe and Paul were friends in a lifetime. But then by sometimes something happened. There was maybe a betrayal, maybe cheating, maybe John got Paul's wife, or maybe John killed Paul, or something really bad happened. So Paul has got this hard feeling, and he goes back to the spiritual realm, to the astral realm, feeling this anger against John. What happens in the next life? Well, the bill always arrives. It may take a lifetime, it may take some lifetimes, but the invoice always comes. Sometimes a little more expensive, because we didn't make up for our bad manners for yesterday. What happens? Paul and John are going to meet again in another body, so they can make up for each other. They can be friends again. They can forget each other and hold hands as brothers and sisters, as we all are, as children of God. That's a great reason to forget everything. Imagine if you remember, hey, he harmed me, he hit me, he killed me, he was unfair to me, he did something very bad to me. But sometimes, even though we don't remember, we have this disgust against somebody that we just met. Or sometimes we just see one person for the first time. Yeah, that happened to me. You lie your eyes on them, and you know that they are dear to your heart. You know that this person is important to you from somewhere in time. You remember them, although you don't know where from. Has this ever happened to you? So it's not that we forget 100%, we forget everything. There is always this something back there in our soul, in our hearts, that it's not missing. So every life that we spend incarnated is an opportunity to redeem the faults that we have committed. We are put in the same situations, face to face with the same people, so we can correct mistakes and learn not to make them again. If we remembered all previous existences, we would have an unfair advantage. We would do things not because we've learned, but only because we remember the mistake. Or we wouldn't allow them to make up with us. We would not have the merit or the attitude that we took to not be involved effectively. Thus, God gives us the chance to do it again. All the good deed. Is it all lost? The question, why can't we no longer remember? We must remember that the main life is the one of the spirits. We are here for a temporary time in earth, reincarnated, and we always return to the greater plan. This is how, when each incarnation, we remember things, we make the planning, we remember as years that we remember at school when we are in the spiritual realm. Of course, the complete memory of all existences only occurred when we are highly evolved and we stop making mistakes again and again. So not everyone is ready to to remember everything from the past in the spiritual realm. So the spirit only remembers some of the most relevant things that we can remember, choosing the challenges, the situations, the people that we will meet and other stuff, always aiming at our learning and improvement. When we are planning, we don't care about the difficulties, how we really prefer them, because we know that when we face the challenges and win, this will carry us forward. This will make an improvement to us to become the best version of ourselves, to improve as souls, as human beings. I once read a wonderful book, Many Lives, Many Masters, or Many Masters, Many Lives. It is so interesting. There is this psychiatrist that he studies the origin of the problems, and there is this lady that he's treating that she doesn't improve after he tried everything. So when she was under hypnosis, he tells her to go back to a place where this problem has begun, thinking that she would go back to her childhood or inside the belly of mama, but no, she goes back to a previous life, and that blows his mind, because he was Jewish, he didn't believe in any of that, he was a very down-to-earth man, a scientist, but he was open, and he begins to study little by little what's going on there. And she describes with so many details, and he publishes this book that was in the scientific world a bomb. But I strongly recommend. And I also have a friend, dear friend. She's a gorgeous soul with so much love in her heart, Alison Bill. She helped me remember the time that I was in the astral realm, getting prepared to this lifetime, making my planning and my soul contract to this incarnation. By the way, you can see a little bit of this experience I've been through here in the description below, or after this video ends, I will put a link so you can click on it and check this video. And another question that may arise is all our experience, all that we go through, lost in each new incarnation? If we look at the oblivion of our past without attention, we may think so, since we forget everything, so everything we've learned is lost. We have to learn it all over again. But the life experiences prove us the opposite. Have you ever heard of those children who are little geniuses, who without anyone teaching anything or with just a little bit of learning, they can do amazing things like play the piano or paint? This comes from past life experiences. They are genius. Have you ever seen brothers raised with the same stimuli that have different outcomes? Turns out the past is forgotten but not lost. There's a place in our hearts that we remember everything that happened, that allows us to use it for our good. It's our subconscious. Thus, the intuitive voice of our conscious often is the dormant and hidden memory of our past lives that comes to surface when we need it. So it is with every people we live with. Don't you have these people that you turn on immediately? Don't you have this person that you meet at work or sit on a bus that you immediately like? Don't you have those who you want to be with them even though you don't know them very well? Why? And the opposite. the ones that we immediately have this something against, that everything that they do seems wrong to us. Those are our friends and enemies of the past. We don't remember them because they may be very different from what they were. But we keep inside us this secret knowledge of this existence and all the reasons that we are here in earth together again to learn, to evolve as human beings. So yes, just to remember, you are an eternal spirit living one experience of being squeezed in a body. This body made of stardust, born to become the best version of yourself, to improve as a human being, to do things right at the first time. Don't you have these things that keep repeating again and again and again in your life? I tell you, if you don't learn, if you don't stop making the same mistakes, you are going to repeat them again in another life. And not only that, if there's somebody that you hold back bad feelings, I tell you, my friend, maybe you're not going to like what I'm going to say, but you are going to meet them again. Yes, I'm sorry to say, you are going to see them again in another lifetime, maybe in an even more difficult situation. So, call them, forgive them, send a letter. I forgive you, and please forgive me for my mistakes. Because you are also not perfect. Who is? I'm not, for sure. So I forgive others because I am not perfect. And we are here to learn as human beings. Does that mean that you agree with the mistakes that they made, with how much they hurt you? No. It doesn't mean that you have to agree with everything. It only means that you can set them free. And yourself first. First place. The first person who's got improvements out of your forgiveness is yourself, my friend. You are free from bad feelings that may hurt you, that may make you sick in the long run. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, maybe you would like to check this, my experience with Alison Beale. See you in the next video. Click there and put a like here, and tell me in the comments here below, have you ever remembered something? Have you ever had a déjà vu? How was it? I'm waiting for your comment and for your like. See you in the next video.